I've been with Rally Right Way for nearly 4 years now, or this will be my 4th year. I started right in the second part of our first year I joined, which was when Charlie came back to Harper and set up Rallying the Right Way. Originally, I think Charlie thought I was a bit too excited about rally cars to fully trust me on the car. So the first rally I went to was a Scottish gravel rally, and I think Charlie realised how excited I was to be there, but didn't fully trust me to work on the car yet. That I originally came as just a media man, which I attempted to do but wasn't very good at anyway. And in the first service I could see that the team needed some help, so I jumped in to try and get the car back out for service, which we did. And I was so naive, and looking back at it, it's all quite funny to look back at. But yeah, that was my first sort of, okay, I can actually do something on this car. So in 2023, as I was just about to start my second year, we went to the Ulster Modern Tyres Rally, which was really good fun, very wet, exciting though, and all was going well. We were actually very quick, and then unfortunately Adam and Charlie came over a crest into a left quite quickly in the absolutely pouring rain, which meant the car slipped up, and it was on the final Sunday of the rally as well. But they lost control of the car and had a big crash. They rolled 3 times and caught fire, and the R2 actually looked like a coupe, so it's pretty buggered, and it makes you really actually impressed with how the roll cage protects both the driver and the co-driver, because it was a quick crash as well. And that was quite an experience as well, and taught us all, I think, a lot about, first of all, respect for the safety that you now get in rally cars, and also that sort of, right, are Charlie and Adam okay? And there's a whole procedure that goes around that, and thankfully Rory was really good with communicating with the car, and then the team sorting ourselves out, packing down and preparing for that situation of, right, okay, we know Charlie and Adam are now okay, they're in hospital, they're in good hands. Let's now go back to looking at the car and recovering and prepping the car. And actually just recovering the car itself was a task. And yeah, it was quite a big thing, I think, for me, when you see all of that hard work and fear. It's quite an emotional roller coaster having a crash like that as a team. But hey, we all stayed positive, and once you know Charlie and Adam are okay, it lifts some of the weight a bit. And yeah, coming back, the attitude just goes, right, back together it goes. Which led actually into your winter re-prep, I think, as well, which you were quite involved in.
Yeah. So after the Ulster crash, the car, like Archie said, was pretty bent and battered and bruised. So we sent it away to the body shop to go and get repaired, and then we got it back just as a bare shell. Huh?
Shout out to Colin.
Yeah, shout out to Colin, the bodywork man. So he'd pulled it all straight, which was lovely. So we got it back just as a bare shell, and we had, I think it was about 11 working days to actually getting the car ready for Autosport in the NEC in Birmingham. And that was over the January break, so I didn't really have much going on at home. So I thought, you know what, I'll come down to Harper, I'll go into my accommodation, and I'll just spend 10 days, 11 days rebuilding this and going to Autosport. So I came down, we had another couple of freshers that came, or another couple of first years that came with us. And so we all worked through that, late nights every night, I think, just about, just trying to get everything finished for the Autosport. Once that was done, we sort of set up, like we did the rally this weekend at the Cambrian, how we had stands, we had lighting, and we were really showing off the rally car and trying to get people to come to Harper Adams and show them what Harper Adams is really about, that it's not just a farmer's uni. And so that was really good fun, and doing a lot of body work and a lot of panel fitting, panel gaps, rebuilding the whole subframe, rear beam, all the suspension. I'd say that was my first proper job on the car in my second year. I did a bit of stuff in first year, but it wasn't really that much. So then after that, I did a lot of working at the rear while Archie and Chris were on the front. And then in the later parts of my second year, I moved up to the front, and I actually, for one of the one-day rallies, I was #1 mechanic, which was very good fun. That was for the Sweet Lamb rally. So I went round in that, pretending that I knew what I was doing, and so that was good fun. Luckily, that was just a one-day event, so it was very chill and casual. It wasn't an official BRC event. so that was good fun. And then we had the Rally Nuts crash. That was eventful, wasn't it? We were both there for that, and it was pouring with rain. It was a gravel rally, and it was through a forest. Charlie, I don't know if it was. Well, I'm sure it wasn't driver's ability.
But give him some slack. He came around a corner and drifted slightly wide on the gravel and just clipped the bank on the left, which sent the car spinning and off down. And I think unfortunately the stage was higher off down to the woods, so you had a good 2 meter, maybe 3 meter drop down off the stage into the woods, which sent the car rolling 2 or 3 times and landing on its roof. Which is never good to see a car, but I think probably one of the most scary things was that, or 2 scary things actually, was that the roof of the car by the windscreen was very, very close to a large tree stump, which if there had been a metre or so further forward carrying that momentum would have been very close to Adam's head, which is never really what you want to see when you turn up to collect a car. But also shortly after Charlie and Adam came off, there was a Subaru following them, and they pretty much did the exact same thing, but they thankfully were a metre or so to the left, but they came to a dead stop into a tree, and I think they were pretty shaken up by that, because that's a hell of a lot of force without any rolls to take out some of that force, and trees are pretty solid things to hit. But yeah, that presented another challenge for us. I think we're both rebuilding that car.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk about that a bit.
Yeah, so that was an engine out. Once again, car off to the body shop to get pulled straight. So the car got pulled straight, and then me and you did a engine rebuild. We had a couple of days. We came in here over a weekend, and we just stripped the engine. You know, noted down what we needed, what we didn't have. Got a donor engine in, and me and you went at that.
Yeah, we definitely went at it. That's for sure. And it was quite, I think, for both of us, it was quite a nervous feeling when the car fired up for the first time. And you're like, oh, have actually what we've done, is that going to work? And I think when we actually fired it up, it was quite late as well. It was about 2 a.m. in the morning. And nothing like testing a car at pitch dead of night, which is always quite exciting. But at the same time, quite a relieving feeling. And I think both put us on that path to that placement at M Sport as well.
I mean, in motorsport, that is the reality of building a car under a time constraint. You know, you are staying late working on the car when there is things to be done. Unfortunately, you know, it's not like every job where you just clock off at 5 and, you know, you're done then. You know, when things need to happen, things do need to happen. You do need to stay late, and that's been a bit of fun for both of us. We've got the workshop here, and you know, when we're staying late, you know, sometimes we'll do a little whip round on food, and then, you know, you've got a burrito in one hand and you're working on the car with the other hand. Try not to drop sauce in the engine or whatever. Obviously not, I'm joking. But yeah, you know, it's always good fun. But I think for that time we were actually trying, on a very serious deadline, trying to make the next BRC event while we were in the BRC calendar that year, trying our hardest to, like you said, make it to that next event and have everything ready.
I think, yeah, it definitely installs as well a sort of drive and work ethic in you as well. When you've got to push like that, it makes you realise, wow, you're capable of so much more when you apply yourself, which I think is also a good learning for not just us, but everyone in the rally team.
After crashing, I think I've definitely noticed it more since I've just done my first proper number one event. And going to scrutineering, I can't imagine the stress the boys would have been under after a large crack like that, because there are people, you know, they go through the long hours, build the car, take it to scrutineering, you know, and then something is found that's, you know, makes the car not raceable. And so I think that was very stressful for other boys, and I think they did a very good job of not putting that stress onto us. I think me and you felt, you know, happy, and no one pushed that stress on top of us, which was nice.
Over the next 2 years, I became a number 2 mechanic and learning the ins and outs of the R2, all the correct torques, the procedures, the importance of click checking, and click checking on a hot car compared to a cold car, building the car, how you go through things. Doing 2 winter rebuilds really gives you a good understanding of where the car's at and how each component of the car works. And then coming over placement, dropping in and out when me and Elliot could, when we were both on placement, was sort of not really mechanics, because we needed to give those opportunities to other people coming through the rally team, but more so it was just advisors or teachers from a distance is probably, I think, the best way of saying it. And now coming back to it, we're both sharing the number one in engineer role, which I think is really developing our wider teaching skills, management skills, and engineering skills, which is why we both wanted to share it so we could get equal exposure.
Coming back and Arch having more life racing knowledge than me, for our first event being the Cambrian, we decided to put Arch in the laptop, me as number one. So it's a bit stressful, I think, for me being the number one, everyone coming and asking you questions when you've been off the car for over a year, and you've got to try and remember back to specifically what torque was the rear beam when you've not seen it for over a year. So that is a bit stressful, but it's all part of it. So I remember I was really trying to brush up on my knowledge before this event to make sure everything was right and I couldn't be caught out. And over the weekend, I think it was a pretty good time and didn't get caught out too often on too many things. I'm really looking forward to the roles to getting better knowledge in every sector. I think I've never really been much of a manager myself, which I was quite nervous for this weekend. I think we're both glad that we've been offered the role as as switchable, so the stress doesn't weigh down too much on each other. And so I'm looking forward to. I think this weekend went really well for both of us. Yeah,
I think going off the back of Elliot's point, we didn't quite get the result we were looking for, but actually the problems that we faced, I think we both managed and dealt with in a very good manner. I think things I'm looking forward to is actually facing the challenges of it, because I know I get a bit nervous sometimes when you're trying to manage people and trying to work out the exact best look, and having that sort of inner belief to go, right, that's the right decision and we're going with it, instead of sort of just titivating, if that's the word, to try and make something work. And I think that's a skill we're both going to develop together, and with Charlie, of course, helping us and point us in the right direction when we probably inevitably stray off, but there we go, that's all part of the fun. But hey, that's what Rallying the Right Way is about. It's all about trying to learn and teach people new skills which they haven't quite got yet. And I think we're going to take this on and do it to the best of ability we have.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I think me and Elliot, having spent so much time together, both through uni and through placement as well, we work really well together. And actually, if there's a gap in one of our knowledges, normally the other one knows it. Helps us to have a rather large storage of collective knowledge, which has been quite good because we can bounce off each other as well, both bouncing ideas and bouncing off facts and ways to get around a problem. And yeah, I think that's a great skill to have between the two of us, and I think we're both looking forward to the rest of the season after the winter rebuild.
Lovely.